Oh my goodness. The favourites, Brazil, are out of the World Cup. Croatia knocking them out on penalties. Brazil once again out at the quarter-final stage. Croatia once again marching on to the semi-final stage. What's your initial reaction to this, LME?
Kay Murray, the first thing I want to say is salute Croatia. They are the warriors of this World Cup. They are the fighters. They never bowed down to Brazil. They never bowed down to the pressures of fighting against the favorites, because so many of us, obviously, from whether it's an emotional thing or a analytical thing, we thought Brazil were going to win it all. So Croatia, unbelievable. Just kept fighting and fighting like a boxer getting up from the canvas. Tremendous stuff. To once again, the 2018 finalists, to once again be in the Final Four is remarkable. And I'm sure we're going to talk about the performances. And Brazil, my goodness, I know that we're going to talk a lot with the guests and Ale and Herc and stuff, but I thought they were, aside from that moment of genius from Neymar in extra time, there were a few managerial decisions there from Chiche that I was pretty surprised at. And, as a South American, I'm disappointed, but Croatia, well done, well done.
I know, absolutely. In fact, it got to the point where you saw once it was going to extra time, regardless of what happened in extra time, knowing Croatia being able to weather the storm. We've seen them do it now 3 times in 2018, second time in this competition. It seems to be something they relish. Let's not wait any longer to bring Ale Moreno in. I cannot wait to hear what he thinks about what's happened here. And I do want to start with Brazil when we talk to you, Ale. Welcome back in. What went wrong for Brazil tonight?
This is tough. This is tough, Kay. Let me tell you, that bracket that we all filled at the beginning of the World Cup?
Rip it up!
All gone. That's all gone. See you guys later. Good night. Time to warm up the bus. Time to go home. Look, Brazil, I think at times in this game, we're surprised by Croatia's willingness to pressure higher up the field and Croatia's willingness to go and test Brazil in the attacking half. Brazil's success so far in this tournament, while we like to focus on the attacking half, I think what had been most impressive about them is the fact that they were willing to press and counter-press and regain possession of the ball right away. And in order to press and counter-press, you have to have everybody working together in order to go get the ball. And that means everybody. That means Vini Jr. That means Neymar. That means that everybody has to be involved in that defensive work initially. And that wasn't happening. So you see Juranovic, who I didn't think I was going to have to be talking about regarding this match, Juranovic running 40 yards freely without anybody confronting him. And it was happening time and time again. And you see Luka Modric, who we know how great of a player he is and what an effort he put in this game. He was receiving the ball from center backs. He was receiving the ball from the attacking players. He was everywhere. We know that Luka Modric is going to want to get on the ball. So that's the responsibility of the underneath striker, if you will, for Brazil. Who would that be? That's Neymar. And Neymar is just giving it a slow jog. So Modric having the freedom to just dictate through the midfield. You give him that freedom, he's going to pick a pass. And so for me, Brazil, I think we're surprised. We're surprised in the approach by Croatia. Didn't quite react. And the same question that I had leading up to Neymar's goal is the same question that I had after Neymar's goal. And that is, very simply, full disclosure, why is Neymar still on the field? Why is Neymar still on the field? Now, he scores the goal, genius, right? And we all bow down to Neymar and his greatness. And that's undeniable in that moment. But up until that moment, again, a lot of slow walking, a lot of slow jogging, a lot of sort of, I'm going to stand on the ball and the ball is not going to move. And if you do that, you allow Croatia to sit behind the ball and make it very difficult for you to create anything. I didn't quite understand why he was still on the field at that point. Obviously, I got my answer. Tite, yeah, you're right. You're a genius. You know what you're doing. That's why I'm not managing the Brazilian national team. But then afterwards, if indeed you're going to take a defensive posture, then why is he still on the field? Because he's not going to help you defensively. And what was even more surprising after everything that I've said, Brazil are up 1-0. It is the second half of the extra time. They've taken a defensive posture. It's been a decision by Tite. And somehow you get caught in a counter-attack in a 4v3 situation. How does this happen with players of this experience, with players of this caliber? If you've taken the defensive posture, then you pump the ball into the attacking half, hope that something happens over there, and you don't take any chances to get stretched. Brazil gets stretched, Croatia goes on the counter, they tie the game up. And once we got into penalty, Livakovic and Croatia and the momentum, it was always going to be very difficult for Brazil.
And they saved the last penalty spot for Neymar, which adds to your point about why was he there in the first place. It was very weird managerial decisions by a very, very experienced coach, Chiche, in that situation. By the way, that goal, that was the first shot on target for Croatia in the entire game.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.